Hello my friends and happy Hobbit Day everybody, as today is the 22nd of September and this video is part of a much larger YouTuber community playlist which will be in the description below and end cards. Today we will be exploring the complete journey of Frodo and Sam from the Shire to Mount Doom, emphasizing on the role the two hobbits played in The Lord of the Rings. It will be the two hobbits' journey only, and each part to their quest, whether big or small, will be shown, so sit back, relax and enjoy this mini adventure. It is the 22nd of September in the year 3001 of the Third Age. Bilbo Baggins' 111th birthday party, along with Frodo Baggins' birthday as well, had just happened, where during a speech, Bilbo Baggins had mysteriously vanished. Frodo, coming back from the party, found Bilbo had departed and left him Bag End, along with a ring. Gandalf would over the following years return to Bag End and check up on Frodo until he stopped for a while, and for a number of years, until when he returned and Frodo learnt that all this time he had the one ring. Knowing of this ultimatum, he decided to leave his home and the Shire behind, sell Bag End and go on a quest to meet Gandalf at Bree, with Samwise Gamgee, his gardener, joining him after accidentally interrupting the exchange. Frodo and Sam and Pippin then begun to secretly journey to a nice house in Crick Hollow for some time, while all the proceedings of the sale of Bag End was left behind. Day and night they journeyed, singing as they trotted along, until in the distance around the corner came this black rider with a large cloaked man sat upon. Upon his presence, Frodo felt a great urge to put on the ring, but resisted, ever so until the horse got distracted and galloped off. Despite this strange occurrence, Frodo and the hobbits continued until night crept on them once again, but off the road in the shadows came not one but two black riders, and Frodo's urge to put on the ring was even greater, until they retreated, and instead in the distance were elves lamenting of the white shores, with Gildor among them, and Frodo stayed with them for a while, and then the hobbits continued. The three hobbits had now come upon Farmer Maggot's land and resided there for a short rest, until out of nowhere a rider came up. But to Frodo's delight, it was none other than Meriadoc Brandybuck. After a short rest, they got up and set on the path again. They all boarded a ferry and flowed down the Brandywine river until they docked up, but again Frodo saw a black figure in the distance, and the four hobbits decided to find safety. Finally, Frodo made it to his house and met Fatty Bolger already at the house. While deciding on what to do next, Frodo decides to take the path through the old forest, and Merry, Sam and Pippin all decide to accompany their friend. Soon they left, and while travelling through the old forest, they made it to the house of Tom Bombadil, where the hobbits resided for a short while and met Goldberry as well. During their stay, Tom Bombadil taught the hobbits a chant that they had to recall whenever in danger. Soon Frodo and the hobbits said their goodbyes and were set on their way. Their journey ceased once they had reached the Barrow Downs, where they had been trapped by the Barrowites, but only escaped due to the chant of Bombadil, which set them free. Finally, the company had made it at last to Bree and went to the Prancing Pony, where they should meet Gandalf, but Gandalf was nowhere to be found in the Prancing Pony, which alarmed the hobbits until they had met this strange strider fellow who they set off with soon after. They journeyed with the Strider, a claimed friend of Gandalf's, through marshes, forests and lands with the aim of making it to Rivendell, the home of Elrond. Then, at night, the hobbits thought they had seen something in the dark, and yet again it was the Black Riders, and they closed in on the hobbits until Frodo charged forward but was impaled by a Morgul blade, and he felt a pain like a dart of poisoned ice pierce his left shoulder. Aragorn soon came and fought them away, but it was too late, and Frodo needed attending to. Soon enough, Glorfindel arrived with the bells of his horses ringing along. Glorfindel took Frodo, passing the following riders, taunting them with his bells ringing aloud, and Frodo had made it to Rivendell. Frodo was awakened with Gandalf sitting behind him, and soon learned the great healer Elrond had healed his Morgul wound. Also, he was reunited with Sam, Merry and Pippin. At the Council of Elrond, Frodo insisted in taking the ring to Mordor, and a company of 9 would be succeeded with Frodo, Sam, Merry, Pippin, Gandalf, Aragorn, Legolas, Boromir and Gimli. The Fellowship set off from Rivendell, and it is Frodo's duty to destroy the One Ring back from whence it came in the fiery chasm of Mount Doom in Mordor. After the ultimatum at Cahadras, Frodo decided to enter through Moria to avoid the sight of Isengard. Frodo's fortune would not last long, as soon enough at the bridge of Khazad-dûm, Gandalf, one of the few Frodo could truly trust, fought off the Balrog of Morgoth and fell off the bridge into the chasm. This caused great grief for Frodo, with the growing realization that he would have to do this quest alone. Still, they made it to Lothlorien, where they would meet Galadriel and Celeborn, who allowed the company to rest and grieve for their loss. Galadriel let Frodo look into the mirror and his fate if he didn't destroy the ring. Soon before the company left, they were each given gifts, with Galadriel giving Frodo the light of Erendil. Soon they departed, and in small boats flowed down the Anduin River, and on the way Frodo noticed a creature stalking them, similar to the one spotted earlier, and Gandalf had indicated as being Gollum, a previous ring bearer. However, at Amon Hen, Boromir tries taking the ring off Frodo, but Frodo manages to escape after a swarm of attacking orcs and Uruk-hai separate the Fellowship, and Frodo decides to journey to Mordor alone. However, due to their irresistible friendship, Samwise Gamgee goes along with his master to the very end. After days of travelling, once again Frodo and Sam feel the presence of Gollum, who soon enough tries to reclaim the ring but fails. However, Frodo, despite the will of Sam, spares his life, and Smeagol leads the hobbits through the dead marshes all the way to the Black Gate as he promised. However, the pass through the Black Gate to Mount Doom seemed impossible, but Gollum offered an alternative, more secret path, which the trio soon undertook. On the way to the secret passage, Gollum decides to splash in a pool that was sacred to the Gondorians, and the trio were soon stopped and caught by Faramir, the brother of Boromir. Frodo pleaded for Gollum's release and safe passage beyond. Faramir, unlike his brother, conceded, and after a nice feast allowed the hobbits and Gollum to carry on. At dusk, the hobbits reached the Morgul Road, and soon enough into the Morgul Vale, where Frodo sees the Witch King leading an army from Minas Morgul and resists the urge to put on the One Ring. The trio climb the steep stairs until Gollum leads the two hobbits into Shelob's lair, deceiving them, hoping Shelob could finish off the two hobbits. Consequently, Frodo is wounded by Shelob and is taken prisoner to Cirith Ungol. Sam is able to fight off Shelob so she does not fully end off Frodo. Sam, now with the ring, rescues Frodo from the tower, and now dressed up as orcs are able to escape and set their eyes on Mount Doom. They follow a path until they are forced to join a company of orcs marching towards the Black Gate. Soon they escape the host and turn towards Mount Doom. Before the momentous task before them, the hobbits decide to take off all their gear and cast it aside and begin to climb the mountain. Frodo and Sam, the pair who had together survived the entire journey thus far, climbed up the mountain all the way to the foot of Mount Doom. Frodo enters the cracks of the mountain with the ring by his hand, but claims the ring for himself, echoing the actions of Isildur thousands of years earlier. But soon Gollum reappears, biting off his finger, and had the One Ring finally in his possession. The twisted and forsaken creature, whose only remaining desire was to reunite with this ring, got what he wished and danced around the edge, and due to means of divine intervention through the act of Eru Iluvatar, the supreme being of Arda and the timeless universe, Gollum fell and the ring was destroyed in the fiery pits of which it was created. Sauron was finally defeated. Happy Hobbit Day everyone, and here we are leaving it at the moment of the ring being destroyed, as without the efforts of Frodo and Sam, the two hobbits, the ring wouldn't have been able to reach the cracks of Mount Doom where the acts of divine intervention could come into play. The perseverance and courage of hobbits shines through anything else in The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. But thank you guys for watching, I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. But until the next video my friends, goodbye.